It wasn't just that she didn't know how to respond. For some reason she couldn't explain, she felt like maybe he wasn't looking for an answer. So Prazibe waited silently, letting Fenric continue when he was ready. At first glance, it was clear. That person was a truly rare and precious person. It was also clear that someone like her had absolutely no reason to associate with someone like me, rolling around in the mud. The ugly marks caused by malnutrition, the shadows burned into his being by the rigors of survival, none of that could be found in Precept's worried expression as she looked at him. The dazzling silver hair flowing down her back, her jewel-like violet eyes sparkling with a mysterious light, her pale, almost transparent skin, even her simple but undoubtedly expensive clothes, all of these were worlds apart from him. Fenric realized this quickly. This girl was someone who lived in a completely different world. It was likely that her shabby clothes were just a disguise to hide her true status. Nobles would sometimes respond to their curiosity, dressing in what they believed to be commoner clothing to attend lower-class festivals. Even the common people and other peasants always frowned at the sight of me. That day, I must have looked worse than ever, completely miserable. He was coughing up blood, and his dirty clothes were stained red from the beatings. But she held my hand. Then she lifted me up. She found it so silly. I thought it was better to be stoned by people who mocked me contemptuously than to accept cheap, condescending pity. It was childish pride. Unnecessary inferiority complex. So he pushed Fenric Prazibe away with all his strength, even though his weak body made it a futile effort. So I asked her to leave. Just go away. Maybe it was just an attack on me. What can a spoiled noble girl do to help? He had expected her to run away. Ultimately, the likes of a spoiled noble girl would definitely retreat upon hearing a single curse. But she didn't run. I saw you getting beaten. So why are you here then? To make fun of me? How dare some worthless beggars act so impudently, she said sarcastically. Fenric was ready to respond, but what she said was completely different. I'm sorry. I was too afraid to help you. What? I'm not in a position to help anyone either. She did not run away in fear, but said strange things. I don't pity you. I can't explain everything, but I'm in no position to pity anyone, even if I wanted to. You spoke very strange and very ridiculous words. She looked younger than him, just in appearance. And yet, here she was, spouting nonsense about being an adult. I have to go now. Diet. No, there's someone waiting for me. We snuck out together. She looked into the bag she was carrying on her back and gave him everything she had brought with her. Gold coins, something Fenric, even when he was a beggar, had never seen before. And then, take this too. She gave me a gift. Gift. Something very valuable. It's a sword my mother gave me. My friend insisted that I bring him for self-defense, but it was a sword nearly as long as her arm, lavishly decorated with countless jewels. I don't know how to use it anyway. I don't think I'll need it anymore. You're giving me something like this? Yes, I don't know what will happen to me anymore. But I will endure one way or another. What trials would a spoiled noble girl face? Even as he thought about it, Fenric couldn't bring himself to react harshly. There was something in the way she said those words, a certain sadness in her expression. So, you bear too. What? You are the first person I spoke to willingly. Until now, I was silent, afraid of what might happen if I acted out of my role. What on earth are you talking about? I don't know who you are, or how this might spoil the story. It might ruin everything. But despite that, you are the first. So I want you to be okay. If I endure and live well, maybe I will be able to live well too. Although Fenric couldn't understand the meaning of her words, he knew she was talking about her. She said that it is not just a decorative sword, but a sword that can be used in combat. It's the most precious thing I own. Fenric's face was filled with disbelief, but Precipi continued speaking. If I sell it, I will only get money. But if I fight with this sword instead of selling it, a lot will change. It's up to you. With those words, Precipi looked at Hannah, who was trembling next to Fenric. She gently wiped the dirt-stained tears from Hannah's cheeks before asking gently, "Do you sell this flower too? Then I'll buy it all, if that's okay with you." But since she had just given all the money to Fenric, there was nothing left to buy flowers. However, Fenric shook his head. He felt it was ridiculous, she had already given him everything, so why would she offer him more? But somehow, he wanted to give her the flower, even if it was just something wilted and cheap. Maybe it was to prove his point, since she had given him something, he wanted to give her something too. At least that was the only thing he could offer at the time. Just take it. Huh? You gave me your most precious thing, so you can take it too. After giving me this precious gift, she was ready to leave without any hesitation. So, you stopped her, you hurt my pride. Don't try to be virtuous. I said I would return the favor. I will definitely repay you. Meanwhile, Precipi smiled faintly. It's fine. Then she answered, I will wait for you to return the favor. Your name. What? What's your name? Precipi. That was the last time. The memory of his 13th birthday was still fresh in his mind. After that day, no one saw Tom, who relentlessly tortured the beggar children and mercilessly abused Fenric, again. Since then, Fenric has been carrying a sword. As Precipi said, he made his choice. It wasn't money that he could hold in his hands right away, it was change that could completely change his life. Thanks to this noble person, I have become a completely different person. I have a purpose now. Goal. I said I would return the favor. Fenric intended to return one day and repay everything to that noble girl. What is the feeling behind that? Was he trying to brag that he had repaid what he borrowed? Or was this his way of showing pride, proving that he had left behind that miserable life, and that he had come this far on his own? The only person who could see that was the noble girl, right? But Fenric soon realized that Precipi was not just a noble girl, but someone who had suffered a more miserable life than he could have ever imagined. So did you return the favor? I mean that noble person. On Precipi's face, there was no trace of the past, no sign of remembering those days. Fenric understood. Maybe it was normal for her not to remember. After all, someone who had died hundreds of times, experienced the same pain and returned to square one with all those memories, would most likely not remember trivial encounters. I'm trying to pay her back. Fenric muttered under his breath. But it's not just that I hate Dean. Is this correct? Fenric didn't answer. He simply smiled faintly, his expression as unreadable as ever. Precipi, everything will be fine. What? I know you're feeling anxious and confused. But this is all part of the process. So don't be afraid, not like you were before. You're not alone anymore. Not alone? In this crazy game, no one had ever said anything like that to her before. Likewise, no one ever came to save her from the never-ending cycle of pain. Maybe, just maybe, Fenric was right, she wasn't alone anymore. At least Fenric, the Duke, had been there for her this round, protecting her from everything. Thinking about it makes the depression go away, as if there is a solution. If you keep going like this, there will come a day when Hannah's words won't be lies. What? One day, you'll be really happy that I'm here. No, I'm not lying. I'm really grateful to you, Duke. I mean, maybe Hannah is exaggerating a little, but no, that's not the point. What I mean is, I'm really grateful. Fenric smiled softly at Precipi, who was now talking aimlessly. For some reason, she felt like a weight had been lifted from her heart. At least, the Fenric she saw now was not the ominous figure she had first met, someone to be wary of. When Persepi confronted him, she didn't notice. In the shadows, quietly, someone's blue eyes shine with a soft light.